Go for it. Go for it, Dwayne. Go for it. You know you want to.
Call this meeting of the Fremont County Board of Commissioners to order. If you'll please rise and join us for the invocation from Mike Woldridge from the Living Word Foursquare Church, followed by the pledge.
Thank you. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this morning, this beautiful area of your garden. And Father, I thank you for everyone gathered in here this morning and their heart for your good people of Fremont County. Father, I just ask your blessing on everybody here and on all the decisions that will be made. And Father, give us ears to hear what it is that you would like to see occur in this area. And we pray this in Jesus' name.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mike. Roll call, please.
Commissioner McFall.
Present.
Commissioner Bell.
Present.
Commissioner Payne.
Present.
County Attorney Jackson.
Present.
County Manager Bryant.
Present.
Planning and Zoning Director Garrett.
Present.
Thank you. Move on to approval of the agenda.
Mr. Chair, I am not aware of any changes that we need to make to our agenda this morning, so I move to approve as presented.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the agenda. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner Payne.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Move on to the consent agenda. We'll note that under number 4 on the consent agenda, it is asking for a resolution number. That will be number 23. And we are not scheduling any public hearings at this time.
That, Mr. Chair, make a motion that we approve consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Payne.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
We move on to administrative and informational. We'll start with County Clerk's monthly report. Mr. Grantham.
Thank you. Our County Clerk's report for the month of July of 2019 is as follows. Total motor vehicle fees, sales tax, and recording fees collected for July of 2019 were $1,488,447.65. Fremont County's portion for disbursement is $828,001.47, which is a 56% of the total fees and is $144,986.85 more than July of last year. Year to date, our office is up $230,081.03 from the previous year.
Some of those big numbers are hard to read out loud, aren't they?
They are.
I know. All right, Mr. Chair, looks good to me. I move to accept the County Clerk's monthly report.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to accept the County Clerk's monthly report. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner Payne.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Move on to the County Manager's report. Ms. Sunny Bryant.
All right, so just a couple of quick updates. Last week, the commissioners and I attended the CCI Mountain District meeting in Fairplay, so it's always a good opportunity to listen to any updates in the legislation, how those would impact counties, to see what the other counties are focusing on for the next year, and just to interact with all of our counterparts in our Mountain District area. And then on Thursday, August 22nd, our request for proposals closed on the Grandview Avenue Bridge project. So this is the design phase of that project, and we actually did receive a substantial amount of grant funds to go towards this. So I just want to thank John Grayson and our IT department. He actually put together a portal on our website that we could actually accept these proposals electronically, which is something that we had never had the ability to do in the past. And he did a tremendous job, and I will be very happy to say this was our first time, and it went perfectly. We actually didn't even have any glitches that we had to work out. So I really appreciate all of his efforts in putting that together for us. And so in the future, we will have the ability to collect bids both electronically and in paper format, which is very exciting for us. A couple updates on projects. So we're in the final stages of closing out the Hayden Pass project. And so I'm very excited to have that finished and hopefully have everything working well up there. And then we're working on the 2020 budget process, so we're working with all of the department heads and elected officials to get that information prepared. That's all I have for that.
Very good, thank you. We'll move on to the sales and use tax.
All right, let me get it pulled up here. So the retail sales tax collections, and let me zoom in a little bit, that's very small up there. For the month of June, came in at $563,455, which is up $79,642 from June of last year. Year to date, we are up $285,703, and that amount is split between the general fund and the sales and use tax fund, which is used to repay the certificates of participation that we have. The auto use tax collections for the month of July came in at $116,909, which is up $39,743 from July of last year. Year to date, we're up $17,776. The construction use tax collections, I actually had to double check these numbers a couple of times to make sure there wasn't an error. So it came in at $128,369,000. We did receive our quarterly disbursement from the city of Canyon City, and they had a huge quarter, and so that came in. And we are up $111,000 for that month. Year to date, we are up $145,136. The lodging tax came in at $59,320, which is down $6,483. Year to date, we are down $1,487. And then on the 1% sales tax for the sheriff, in the month of June, we came in at $375,637, which is up $53,095. Year to date, it is up $190,469. The auto use tax collections came in at $77,939, which is up $26,496 from June or July of last year. And year to date, we are up $11,851. And then last, the construction use tax came in at $85,579, which is up $74,468 from last year. And year to date, we are up $96,808. So everything is looking good and on track.
It's kind of interesting, the lodging tax. I don't understand that one quite. It's what it was $1,000 down, but it's been crazy busy through town. So I don't know if people are passing through, but I know our rafting season was a little sketchy at first because the river was so high, so it was closed.
So I'm actually looking into that. Those are quarterly remittance, and so it literally would just take one company of not reporting in the proper quarter to skew those numbers. So that's something we are looking at in our office just to see if the numbers are truly down or if maybe somebody didn't get their remittance in on time.
I think the rafting is down, but talking to other businesses, skydiving, for example, we have a person in here that has that, but they've been up this summer. The ATV rides and stuff have been up, so there's still a lot of tourists coming. It's just the activities have kind of changed, but well, I don't know if they're staying here or how that's a good question, I guess, but it's pretty interesting. Okay. Oh, anybody else have anything?
One really little quick thing. I told him earlier I had nothing, so.
I didn't believe her.
He didn't. Good thing. So I just would like to remind everyone that our next meeting has been rescheduled from a Tuesday. It will be held on Monday, September 9th at 9:30 in the morning here. So instead of being on a Tuesday, our next meeting will be on Monday.
Okay. Anything, sir?
No, sir.
I've got a couple of things. Just a reminder, September 14th at Deer Mountain Fire Station is an electronics recycling event. As some of you may know, be aware of, that Beth Lenz from the Council of Governments is really good at recycling things, and this electronics, this will be that we've had one in Florence already this year. So September 14th, 9 o'clock to 11:30 at the Deer Mountain Fire Station. That's your computer monitors, your TVs, all that. It's at a very much reduced rate because it's pretty expensive to take those to a recycler. The next one, September 28th, will be here in Canyon City at the Bank of the San Juans on 9th Street, and that one is 10 to 2. That one they're encouraging people with big loads to show up at 10 and hopefully till 11. That way the wait time won't be quite so long. So if you're going with just a TV or something, you might want to wait till about 11 to go. But that's September 14th and September 28th. And she'll have flyers out on that pretty shortly. I'm sure we'll see them in the newspapers, and she's very active usually on Facebook with that. So those are pretty good events to get rid of those old unwanted electronics. Okay, anyone else? Okay, seeing none, we will move on to citizens who wish to address the commissioners on matters not scheduled on the agenda. If there is someone, I'm going to ask that you fill out a slip. There's some here or some at the door. And I do have one here. It's Christine Everett. Good morning.
Good morning.
As you said, I'm Christine Everett. Our home and property are in Lock Mountain Ranch subdivision off of County Road 84, and I'm here about the conditions of County Road 84. I was given the option to either meet with Commissioner Bell, attend a workshop, or speak here, and I chose to speak here, and I do have prepared remarks.
Okay.
In 2017, I had communication with Mr. Adamick of the Fremont County DOT about the deteriorating conditions of our road. After those conversations and emails, there was increased and more frequent maintenance of the road. However, in 2018, the road once again greatly deteriorated to dangerous conditions. At that time, 2018, there were vehicles actually driving onto the sides of the road, off the road, to avoid some of the severest parts of the road. The speed limit out there is 30 miles an hour. However, in poor conditions, we can barely go 5 miles an hour. And even then, drivers and passengers are bounced around and vehicles are damaged. I once again contacted DOT by email and then spoke personally with their administrative assistant, Annette Ortega. She advised that County Road 84 was, quote, on the schedule, unquote. I also included Commissioner Bell on that email. I asked Ms. Ortega if there are any maps showing similar unpaved county roads that may have active commercial traffic like ours does. Both she and Keith Berry of your GIS mapping office said there are no such maps that would indicate individual roads. I wanted to make a comparison of the unpaved residential roads to the unpaved residential with commercial traffic roads. Ms. Ortega did mention that the dry weather and needing to conserve water resources is also an impact on our road work and the many miles of the roads here in Fremont County that are needed to be scheduled. I understand all of that, and I suggest a need for County Road 84 road work be planned in a different way. Ms. Ortega provided me with a list of 4 similar roads to ours. They were 19, 143, 123, and 132. And I did drive over some of those roads. There's no comparison. After my contact in 2018, there was once again some increased road work. Last week, Tuesday, August 20th, I again emailed the DOT office and Commissioner Bell inquiring on the schedule for 84 road work, because since the last work done in early July, the road had become severely rough and dangerous again. I received response from Ms. Ortega. She advised me to contact Planning and Zoning because they're responsible for the impact fees assigned to Fremont Petroleum and Maggie's Farm, which are using our road quite often. There was road work started on Wednesday and continued on Thursday, and at this time, 84 is greatly improved. Director Garrett's office told me that he wanted to do some research on the impact fees and would be getting back to me, but I did not hear from him. Ms. Ortega's last email indicated that Director Adamick was also researching my concerns. I did receive a detailed email from him on Thursday afternoon. I responded to him, not agreeing with all his comments, nor understanding why he referred me to the Colorado Oil and Gas Conservation Commission. I did send an inquiry to them, and their response was, quote, they do not have jurisdiction on county roads, and they would refer back to Fremont County. I'm going in circles. Mr. Adamick suggested that there are other comparable roads that have similar activity, as Ms. Ortega had done, but he did not give me any other identification of those roads. He also indicated that speeding is a factor in the wear of the road, and I acknowledge that fact. We've almost been run off the road and frequently passed because people were not obeying the speed limit. I've been wondering, do officials go out to monitor the road conditions beyond the set maintenance schedules, and how often? The worst conditions of the road appear from the start of 84 to the entrance of the two main drilling sites. The other sites occur before that entrance, so everything is with the heavy equipment. My concern about 84 versus other unpaved roads is that in the last 5 years, we have had increased commercial traffic on that road, and it continues to increase. In 2014, Ostep's Exploration, which is now Fremont Petroleum, began the major project known as Pathfinder C11-12. And during setup and drilling operations that summer, DOT did frequently work on 84 to smooth the road and mitigate the dust caused by the many trucks and equipment using the road. An article in the Canyon City Daily Record of July 5th, 2014, regarding the 5-stage regional roads projects, which was to improve 21 miles of roads in the county and towns in Fremont, said that 80% of the phase 1 was complete, and that in early 2015, grading, gravel surfacing, and stabilizing of 3.65 miles of County Road 84 would be accomplished. I'm not sure that that actually happened the way it was intended. Mr. Adamick has told me work was done during that time period, but we out there aren't sure that was done that way. Obviously, the anticipated heavy usage and damage to the roads was significant in even considering 84 being included in that project. Fremont Petroleum continues to have heavy equipment and trucks on the road. In fact, about 3 weeks ago, they had approximately 20 semi-tractors, trailers, and heavy equipment trucks staged in one of the oil sites along 84. There are now 6 oil wells accessed along 84 that Fremont Petroleum operates, and there has been a tremendous increase in work on the latest site known as Amerigo Vespucci No. 1. On that location, in addition to the drilling equipment, there are 19 storage containers called frac tanks, which have had to be transported down our road. Plus, they transported 200,000 gallons of water to be stored on that site. Maggie's Farm has 2 to 3 shifts of workers traveling the road daily, and the Summit Brick Company uses the road annually. An additional facility was added on 84 approximately 2 to 3 years ago, known as Math Ranch. And what they do is store large rigs and whatever that are probably used for part of the Fremont Petroleum operation. We have approximately 18 residences on 84, 7 on 84B, and there are 2 subdivisions off our road. Twin Creeks with about 16 residences, and Lock Mountain Ranch has 75 parcels with 40 homes and several new construction underway right now. Many of these residents must travel 84 to get to employment and school every day. In addition, there's other regular traffic using the road. The mail carrier, delivery services, trash service, medical suppliers, and the school buses come down to the Rockvale Road. That's a lot of traffic for a rural dead-end road, meaning we only have one way in and one way out and no option for a better road. You call it a local road. To us, it's our main road. In summary, County Road 84 is a residential road that's been changed to a semi-commercial road due to usage by Fremont Petroleum and Maggie's Farm. And I believe, and most of my neighbors believe, that the schedule of work by Fremont DOT should be relooked to accommodate a lot of the changes. The road was never intended for this much activity, nor by such heavy vehicles. The residents of County Road 84 pay taxes the same as all other Fremont County property owners and expect to have our road maintained and in as good a condition as other taxpayers' roads, whether they're gravel or whether they're paved. The residential users of County Road 84 should not have to suffer from continued deteriorating road conditions brought about by commercial activity that's beyond our control. I and the many others who travel 84 greatly appreciate the work that was done last week. I sincerely hope that you, The DOT, Planning and Zoning, will monitor the condition of the road and find solutions to the problems I have mentioned. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Everett. We do have those noted. We have seen the email chain that you had. And Tony, I believe, will follow up on that, on
we've
and the traffic counts.
This morning.
Yeah.
We're going back and forth now. So.
And I know you said you hadn't heard back from Sean yet. He does have quite a bit of things on his plate. I'm sure that he's looking into it. I would assume you are on the impact fees.
I was looking into that, and I was working with Tony on the reply on that.
So do expect an answer from them, but we'll also keep an eye on it too, because there are other roads.
I have my remarks for all of you, and it has my email address on it. So
Okay.
I'll leave those with someone here. And I'd just like to mention, I don't know how the acoustics are in here, but it's difficult to hear back here.
If you'll talk more into that microphone, that will help.
No, but I mean, it's difficult to hear you.
Us even? Okay.
I don't know about me, but.
All right.
Did you get that, Derek?
Sound booth.
No.
Check.
Maybe turn them up just a little bit. I don't know. Okay, thank you, ma'am. All right, anyone else wish to address the commissioners? Okay. We'll move on to old business. First item in old business is an approval of a resolution number 21. This is a special review use permit that we did at our last meeting, where we approved the modification. We need to approve a resolution for it. Now it would be resolution number 21.
So it's basically just housekeeping.
Right. I'll entertain a motion.
Okay. Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve resolution number 21 for the special review use permit for Wellsville Recreation Facility.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 21, series of 2019, for special review use for Wellsville. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Payne.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
The second one is another little bit of housekeeping. It's resolution number 22, series of 2019, for the conditional use permit 17-001 for Uvalde Cobblestone Pit, which we also approved a major modification at our last meeting.
And similarly, Mr. Chair, this again is really a housekeeping issue. We made the decision at our meeting 2 weeks ago. So with that information, I move to approve resolution number 22, the resolution for conditional use permit file CUP 17001 for the Uvalde Cobblestone Pit major modification.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 22, series 2019, for the conditional use permit 17-001. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner Payne.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
On to new business. So the first order of new business is a service recognition resolution for Verlin Oaks, Fremont County 4-H and County and Family and Consumer Science Agent. Now we normally do this for Fremont County employees, which she is not. She's employed by CSU, but she's spent 25 years of that here helping our 4-H and our county grow. So Verla, if you would come to the podium, please.
Good morning.
Sure. I'm going to read it up here,
Okay.
though, if you would
Good
like.
morning. We're going to read a resolution
Verla.
for you.
So this is always kind of an emotional time for all of us, because you have been around for so very long. You kind of have been a fixture here of Fremont County. And Dwayne and I both had the opportunity to be in 4-H ourselves when we were younger, growing up. And it was much younger. It was way longer ago than 25 years. So unfortunately, we never did have the
Speak for
opportunity
yourself.
to work with you. Like I said, it was a long time ago for both of us. So with that, I would like to read this resolution. Whereas the Board of County Commissioners of Fremont County, Colorado graciously recognizes the retirement of Mrs. Verlin Oaks as the Fremont County 4-H and Family and Consumer Science Agent. And whereas Verlin Oaks has served Fremont County for over 25 years as a Colorado State University Extension agent, earning respect and admiration for her extraordinary level of dedication and professionalism. And whereas Verlin Oaks worked tirelessly with the 4-H County Council to raise funds for camps, scholarships, and other fun 4-H family activities. And whereas Verlin Oaks was instrumental in the planning and implementation of family and consumer sciences workshops and cottage food training for citizens of all of Fremont County. And whereas Verlin Oaks spent countless hours writing great Outdoors Colorado grants to aid in the acquisition and construction of the arena and bleachers at Pathfinder Park. And whereas Verlin Oaks endeavored to obtain and install a flagpole by the 4-H building at the fairgrounds. And whereas Verlin Oaks touched many lives over the years through 4-H camps, classes, fairs, and general office duties, her limitless knowledge and expertise, along with her willingness to contribute to projects that improve the Fremont County 4-H program, will be missed. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of County Commissioners of Fremont County, Colorado, hereby publicly recognizes and expresses its deep appreciation and that of the residents of Fremont County to Verlin Oaks for her decades of devoted service to Fremont County. And be it further resolved that this resolution shall be read into the record of the Board of County Commissioners as a tribute to Verlin Oaks' service, and that the official seal of Fremont County shall be affixed thereto and delivered to her. Verla, thank you for your service.
Don't run off, Verla. Verla. Hold on a second.
And with that, Mr. Chair, I move to approve this service recognition resolution for Verlin Oaks.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve this service recognition resolution for Verlin Oaks for her 25 years as 4-H agent here in Fremont County. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner Payne.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Now we want to take a picture. Just on a quick note, her boss is here, so thank you for coming for this, and he's assured me that he'll find somebody to try to fill her shoes, so. I know, try to, I said.
Yes.
All right, thanks, Bill. All right, on to item number 2, which is a proclamation for Suicide Prevention Month, and we have Jessica Cobbler here this morning.
Good morning, Jessica.
Good morning to you.
Do you want me to hold something? Do I need to hold that? Something? Whatever, however you want to do it.
First, I want to say thank you to the county commissioners for doing the suicide proclamation again for the 3rd year in a row. I'd like to tell you all a little bit about myself and why I'm here and why this is important to me. Excuse me.
Pull the microphone down.
Jessica, will you pull the mic down a little closer, please? Thank you.
Perfect.
My 18-year-old son, Dalton, died by suicide on June 18th of 2014. Dalton was really an amazing son, big brother, grandson, and friend. He was kind, caring, smart, and handsome. Dalton was also involved in 4-H, and we appreciate everything that Verla did for our time in 4-H. Dalton was the 2014 Florence High School valedictorian. He had been accepted to and was preparing to attend the Colorado School of Mines in that fall to pursue a degree in chemical engineering. Dalton was the friend that others reached out to for advice and help when they needed it. Unfortunately, he did not feel he could reach out. He suffered in silence. There were no warning signs with Dalton. We had no idea. I'm here to tell you that if this can happen to my family, it can happen to yours. And I now know that suicide does not discriminate. I will always be a voice for my son and a voice for suicide. I'd like to share some facts and figures about suicide in Colorado. On average, one person dies by suicide every 7 hours in the state. Over 6 times as many people died by suicide in Colorado in 2017 than in alcohol-related motor vehicle accidents. Suicide is the 7th leading cause of death in Colorado. Suicide is the 2nd leading cause of death for ages 15 to 44. Please remember that as we talk about suicide, that the statistics, the lines on the graph, and the pushpins on a map represent someone: a son, a daughter, a mom, a dad, a brother, a friend, my son Dalton. They all have names and are more than the way in which they died. I'm also here to share some information about the upcoming Fremont County Out of the Darkness Community Walk. This is the 3rd annual walk this year, and I am the chairperson for it. The walk is hosted by the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Their mission is to save lives and bring hope to those affected by suicide. One of our goals is to bring awareness and conversation about suicide and mental health to our community, to bring together people who have been affected by suicide, whether losing a loved one or making an attempt themselves, and everyone in between, to give each other hope and support, to create an environment where we can speak open and honestly about mental health and suicide, to get rid of the stigma behind those 2 words, to learn it's okay to reach out for help, and to ask if someone needs help, and to know what to do when someone does. I'd like to read a little poem about the walk. Out of the darkness and into the light, not a battle we choose, but one we will fight. We've all lost a loved one to this hidden foe, so out of the darkness in numbers we go. We raise awareness as we walk the walk and fight against stigmas still plaguing most talk. Each suicide victim, a dear precious soul, who battled the darkness that took a great toll. Suicide's victims can't utter a word, but we are survivors and we can be heard. The stigma must end and awareness must rise. We carry this message with tears in our eyes. From all walks of life, we now gather for them and shine in their honor with light from within. This year's walk will take place on Saturday, September 7th at Centennial Park here in Canyon City. Walk day registration and check-in begins at 9 a.m. You must register for the walk, and you can do so the morning of the walk or online at afsp.org/Fremont. You can walk as an individual, join a team, or create a team of your own. This is a fundraiser for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. There is no fee to walk, and there is no minimum amount to fundraise. If you're not able to, we just ask that you come and join us. We will have a memory area with honor beads, pins, and a memory board where you can post a picture of your loved one or write a message. New this year, we will have a silent auction with lots of great items to bid on. This is an event of hope, healing, and connection, and I hope you will join me as we walk to fight suicide. I know together that we can make a difference.
Thank you, Jessica.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for being here. I'll try to read this proclamation. National Suicide Prevention Month, September 2019. Whereas Fremont County is home to more than 46,000 people, a place of destination for thousands of visitors annually. Thank you. And the site of about a dozen state and federal correction facilities. And whereas the Fremont County Coroner reported 23 suicides were investigated in 2018. And whereas Fremont County's average number of deaths by suicide typically is 12 to 16 per year. Whereas suicide cost Colorado a total of more than $1 billion of combined lifetime medical and work loss in 2017, or an average of $1.2 million per suicide death, according to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And whereas in 2019, Suicide was Colorado's 7th leading cause of death and the 2nd leading cause of death for ages 15 to 44. And whereas a record 1,181 people in Colorado died by suicide in 2018. And whereas the total deaths to suicide reflect the total of 26,270 years of potential life lost before the age of 65. And whereas on average one person dies by suicide every 7 hours in the state. Now therefore let it be proclaimed by the county commissioners of Fremont County that September 2019 is hereby designated as National Suicide Prevention Month in Fremont County. The county commissioners do urge all people of Fremont County to become educated on suicide prevention awareness and support those affected by suicide during this month and throughout the year. Signed this 27th day of August, 2019.
That,
So-
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we accept the proclamation for the National Suicide Prevention Month.
I will second that with a few comments. First, I would like to say I love the fact that you bring Dalton's photos to let everyone see. We're Facebook friends. I get to see a lot of different pictures with him, which I think are just amazing. I believe I shared with you in the past that I did not actually know Dalton, but I hope that you understand his loss affected our entire community. You have shared in the past how difficult it is for you to get up and to do the speaking that you do, because I believe you're a little bit of an introvert, much like me. Yeah. And the fact that it is as difficult for you to do as it really is, and yet you do it anyway, speaks to what kind of person you are, which speaks to what kind of a person Dalton was, because he was raised by you. So I just, again, would like to say thank you so much. You truly are making a difference in our community, and I hope that you understand that you are. You touch every single one of us.
Thank you. I
So thank
appreciate
you.
that. Thank you.
I completely agree with that. I couldn't say it better. So, and I enjoyed your post on Facebook. We're Facebook friends also, and it's got to be a tough struggle, and it always will be, but meet it head on. That's what you're doing. Okay, it has been moved and seconded to, I don't even know what we're doing here. Sorry. Accept the proclamation for Suicide Prevention Month.
Approve.
I'm sorry. Proclamation for Suicide Prevention Month for September 2019. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Payne.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica.
It's a good-looking kid right there.
Okay. I'm going to go to number 3 here. It's a proclamation for Kinship Care Month in Fremont County.
We have a public hearing.
Oh, it is 10 o'clock. Okay, we're gonna stop this.
It's 10
Sorry,
o'clock
thanks,
already.
thanks, Justin. It's 10 o'clock already. We do have a public hearing scheduled for 10 o'clock, so we're gonna get on with our public hearing, and then we'll come back to the regular agenda. So, hang tight, guys. We'll be right back. Okay, so our public hearing today is a temporary use permit 19-010. We are all made of stars. Is request approval for a temporary use permit. We are all made of stars. Black Tie Gala fundraiser event to be held Saturday, September 14th from 6:30 to 9. And we have Ashley Sack here, representative from FAR. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Okay, if you want to tell us a little bit about what you're requesting here, your event. Say your name, please, and then talk into the
My name is
microphone.
Zach Reynolds, and I'm the director at the Royal Birch Dinosaur Experience, and I'm here with Ashley on behalf of this event because we would like to be the host of the event, the host site. And so I don't want to take any more credit than is due because in playing host, that's basically our major role. Ashley and FAR and the rest of the volunteers are doing all of the good hard work behind the event. So we just want to be in support of it and abide by any regulations and rules that y'all deem necessary.
So the event is, we had our liquor permit approved bicycling even remotely involved in it. You can run up the red carpet if you want, but it's no Run Blossom. So it's being held on Saturday, September 14th. Cocktail reception and music from 6:30 to 7 o'clock p.m. We're inviting a string quartet from Pueblo, a student group, to play for us between the hours of 7 and 9 p.m., at which time drinks will also be served. Tickets are currently on sale for $45. We have already sold approximately 90 out of our 150 total tickets, and we anticipate selling out. We're capping the event at about that amount just to preserve the integrity of the event for the first time, see how it goes. And tickets are also available at some of our participating sponsor businesses, including Tailored West and Vintage Revival downtown. And we have the support of a number of our local businesses, including the winery at Holy Cross Abbey, Florence Brewing Company, Touch of Love Florist, and a number of others. So we're very excited to partner with all of these local businesses to create something a little bit unique and different. Yes, you have to wear a tie.
Have to wear a black tie? Does it say black tie gala?
It's sparkly. But yes, this is a formal event, so we're very excited to have something new.
Well, unfortunately, none of us will be there. We will all be out of town. So,
September 14th.
yes.
We're always out of town.
I
I'm
know.
going to give you my calendar ahead of time.
So, yeah, do you have any questions for her
No.
yet?
No.
Okay, can I get a staff report, please?
Okay, so the department has reviewed the application and found it to be complete and a true representation of the request as stated herein. The department finds that all requirements per the Fremont County zoning resolution and development regulations will be satisfied by this application. The applicant is requesting a waiver of the surety bond for cleanup and the application fee.
How much is that application fee, Sean?
With a public meeting application fee is $250.
Thank you.
Okay, any questions, other questions yet? Okay, I'm going to open the public hearing. This public hearing is open. If anyone wishes to speak on this temporary use permit, now is the time. Either way.
Anyone?
Anyone? Okay. Last chance. No one. We'll close the public hearing. Okay, commissioners, any further questions, concerns?
I really think we addressed all the concerns that I had when you were before us last time for the liquor license. So I don't have further questions at this time. But I'm prepared with a motion.
I will entertain a motion.
All right.
Sorry, before you do that, am I allowed to ask a question about the liquor permit since it is in conjunction with this TUP? I know it's not technically in the agenda.
You can ask a question, sure.
Oh, I can. Yeah. So, Commissioner McFall and I had gone back and forth about the, essentially, we weren't going to sell tickets, and we haven't sold any tickets to under 21s, but we do have a few staff who are under 21, which I failed to mention last time. I was thinking of some of the other events that I've been to, and I didn't think it was a problem. And we talked about under 21 individuals serving liquor, not okay. Totally understand that. Are we allowed to have, for example, a photographer's assistant within the premises to work the event? That's a little confusing to me, so I wanted to ask that question pointedly when everybody is here. An under 21 individual working at the event, not touching or serving liquor.
I may ask our attorney here in a second, but as I read back through the minutes from the last meeting, twice in those minutes, you said there will be no one under 21 admitted through those doors.
Yes, and I think, and yes, you are correct. And if this is a mistake I made and it's not going to happen this year, it's not going to happen this year. I was thinking ticket sales. I wasn't considering the volunteers. So that's my fault, and if it cannot be rectified, we will fully comply with any, whatever you say. But for next time, this is a learning process for me. We haven't done these TUPs in conjunction with the liquor permits before, so this is not something we've done. So I'm learning as we go, and it's really hard to understand some of the regulations. Not to mention that liquor code. Oh, wow, I spent all night with that bad boy.
We try to be very clear and concise and unconfusing. But having said that, it is government regulations, and so we understand. We also occasionally get confused. Yeah. What I would say is you came before us with, actually it was a very unique ask that an entire property was going to be opened up to alcohol. We generally don't do that. we generally have a very specific, enclosed, fenced area that alcohol will be sold, will be served, and must be consumed, because there are others around. Your guarantee to us that it would only be people 21 and over there that night is the only reason that I voted for that. So my perspective is no one under the age of 21 is going to be allowed, and it doesn't matter for me if they're staff, if they're volunteers, if they're family members, attendees, they're all treated the same because they are all under 21. So that's how I would look at that.
So there's no way and there's no permit that I can ask for so that we essentially become a restaurant for a night kind of thing, you know, where there's a
So,
common
as I
consumption.
mentioned to you, you would have had to come back with a modification to your application, which you said you didn't want to do, to get that changed to that.
We can't make a special
Right.
events license into a hotel restaurant license. The regulations that apply to different classes of license are quite distinct as far as what they can and can't do, and enforcement is quite different as well. When you're talking a limited area under a special events license where liquor is normally not sold, it's a little more restrictive because of the possibility of minors getting alcohol.
Sorry,
No,
but
that's,
yep.
no, and that's totally fine. I didn't know if there was a different way I could word it for next time. I have been to events, you know, special events in other places where, you know, I'm standing next to an under 21 and, you know, they checked IDs and they're marked in something.
You're under 21.
Anyway, so I just wanted to know if there was a way I could do it in the future. If not, which sounds like the case, if not possible for this one, that's fine.
A different application.
I think you have to have a plan for control of the alcohol. And that's why generally you see areas roped off and stuff. The state fair had to have statutory changes in order to allow people to walk around with an open container because of minors being in the vicinity. So there's a special provision in the liquor code just for the state fair.
Right, the common consumption areas, which you could, like, if you determine downtown to be a common consumption area, we could do that. Cups have to be 16-point font, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
She has been reading that.
I read that bad, but I'm not joking.
That generally doesn't fall under a special events license.
Right. Well,
Yes.
okay.
So.
Okay, back to the task at hand, the temporary use
Okay.
permit. Commissioners, any further questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I have a comment and then a question. So I believe you were in the room last time when I think it was Starpoint was standing before us with an application, and they had requested the refund of an application fee. We kind of made note at that time that it's almost gotten a little bit out of hand, and we have been waiving those fees for a lot of folks. And we kind of had a discussion amongst all of ourselves and realized how much staff time actually goes into these. And right now, it's all taxpayers paying all that staff time for special events, for different things. So I think we kind of have come to a general conclusion that what we probably will be doing in the future is refunding half of that application fee. And unfortunately, I think that's going to start with you. So I just wanted to explain to you that's the reason why. I think anyone requesting the full refund in the future is going to have a very, very difficult time getting that. So Mr. Chair, with that, I move to approve TUP 19-010. We are all made of stars. The temporary use permit for the Black Tie Gala fundraiser event on Saturday, September 14th from 6:30 to 9 p.m.
Second.
What about the surety bond?
Oh, yes, and that includes waiver of the surety bond and waiver of half of the application fee, which would be $125.
So I'll second
You'll
that.
still second
Yeah.
that?
Zach knows that if it
Yeah, he
gets all
just jumped in
trashed
there
out,
too
that he
fast.
has to clean it up. So
We have a motion and a second to approve TUP 19-010. We are all made of stars. The Black Tie Gala fundraiser event held September 14th. With the waiver request of the surety bond approved and half of the application fee. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner Payne.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, guys. Good
Thank
luck.
you.
Yeah, we wish you good luck, and next year hold it when we're going to be around, and you might, I don't know, you might get him in a black tie. We'll see. I would like to see Commissioner Payne in something with
I've
sparkles.
got a black tie.
Yeah.
Worth the surety bond fee.
Worth yeah, just to see that.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys. All right, back to number 3 in the regular agenda. Proclamation for Kinship Care Month in Fremont County for the month of September. We have Barry Acton from the Department of Human Services here. Good morning, Barry. Thanks for waiting
morning.
around.
Good morning.
How is everyone today?
Great, thank you.
Wow.
Wonderful. I brought a crew with me.
All right.
Before we get to the proclamation for Kinship Care Month, I wanted to introduce a new initiative that we are now starting. Thank you, sir. With, in conjunction with September, Kinship Month, every kiddo deserves a full family tree. With the Family First Act and many of the concerns that arise when we receive custody of a child at the Department of Human Services, this is what we usually run into. We only get information on half the family. Lots of times we do not get information on the father's side, which leads to problems in the future for that kiddo, for us finding kinship placements, which leads to placing kids in foster care. With the Family First Act coming shortly, we want to make sure that we are placing with family. Kiddos do best when they are with family. So with this, we're going to be rolling this out in the month of September, and hopefully get to a better place for these kiddos.
I think that's an amazing graphic of what you talk about and what you do every single day.
Well, not only does this have ramifications just for the kiddo, but this has consequences due with Indian Child Welfare Act, ICWA. It has medical concerns that could rise later in life. Because a lot of times we run into families where the father really hasn't been involved with the family at all. So we are doing a diligent effort. We have an employee that this is all she does, and she is a hound dog. So far everything's going well, but we are going to roll this out and go guns blazing in September.
That's just sitting here kind of in awe. That's a powerful picture
It's
right
amazing,
there.
isn't it?
I've always thought about those kids that don't have the whole family and have feelings for them and whatnot, but that just throws it out there that there's no side of that tree. It's amazing.
And it says it all in a
Yeah, it
single
does.
glance.
We've got a wall at the department now that we've got this same emblem that we're putting on the wall, only has no peaches on it. And we are challenging our caseworkers to get the peach.
Right, fill that.
Every
fill that
time
tree.
they find a father or, a family member that we're not, that we're having trouble finding, they get to put a peach on that tree.
That's great.
Yeah, that's amazing. Great.
All right.
Let me get to the proclamation.
Right.
Whereas Fremont County is steadfast in its commitment to promoting the safety and well-being of our children, and this includes providing a stable household for all youth in which they can be nurtured and succeed. And whereas in 2018, nationally 2.7 million children, in Colorado 33,000 children, and in Fremont County a monthly average of 32 children were raised in kinship families with grandparents or relative caregivers who had stepped forward out of love and loyalty to care for their young relatives, providing them with a sense of connection, security, and ties to their cultural heritage, their family, and their community. And whereas kinship caregivers reside in urban, rural, and suburban neighborhoods across Fremont County, and children, grandparents, and other relatives in kinship families face certain challenges. Therefore, partnerships among the educational, legal, social services, mental health, justice, and other systems are important to ensuring access to services that can enable kinship youth to flourish in all facets of their lives. And Fremont County residents join to honor grandparents and relatives who step forward out of love and loyalty to care for at-risk children during times in which biological parents are unable to do so. And whereas Kinship Care Month provides an opportunity to showcase the accomplishments of countless youth throughout Fremont County who, with the unconditional support of grandparents and other relatives, have successfully navigated the emotional difficulties of separation from their parents. All Fremont County citizens are encouraged to raise their awareness and understanding of the positive family environment that kinship families offer for many children. Now, therefore, we, the Fremont County Board of Commissioners, do hereby proclaim September 2019 to be Kinship Care Month in Fremont County.
All right, thank you. Barry?
I would also like to bring attention to our Special Projects Coordinator, Logan Crumley. He's the one that designed, drew, and created this wonderful logo for us in the department.
Nice work,
so-
Logan.
Absolutely. I actually looked at that and thought, oh, maybe that came from the state or a national, or it came locally. I am very impressed. Thank
That
you.
is
Nice
impressive.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, commissioners?
Well, Mr. Chair, I would make a motion that we accept the proclamation for the Kinship Care Month in Fremont County for the month of September 2019.
Approve?
Approve.
Okay, approve.
Okay, I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the proclamation for Kinship Care Month, Fremont County, for the month of September 2019. Any further discussion?
Just thank you guys for all the work that you do every day for these kids, because they do matter, and I know that you make them understand that, so thank you.
Thank you.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Payne.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
Okay, on to item number 4, ambulance licensing for UC Health Ambulance. We have Michael Crow, who's our Fremont County Emergency Manager Director here this morning. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, Michael.
Good morning.
UC Health Ambulance, tell us a little bit about that.
I went up Monday, August 19th, to do their inspection for their critical care ambulance. It is a new service that University of Colorado Health Memorial Central is providing to 22 counties here in south and southeastern Colorado, as well as the Denver metro area. They have a truly amazing program up there with what they're doing with their critical care ambulance, offering things that no other ambulance service provides to the area. So if you have somebody that has a critical injury or has been traumatized by an accident, a fall, they can come in and provide the next level above what paramedics can and get them transported. If they can't go by helicopter, which they also run their helicopter, which is an ICU in the air, you can get an ICU on wheels with their new critical care ground ambulance. And it's pretty cool when you see what they put into it, backup systems that they have. It's absolutely protected 100% by a roll cage, even like a NASCAR race car is, so it can roll and everybody inside will be protected. I was truly impressed by their program up there.
So I think you and I had a little conversation about this. What their plan is, they will be stationed in Colorado Springs, and they will either come down and transport or even meet a AMR or something like that, so that AMR is free to stay on duty within the area, correct?
That is correct. They want to keep everybody's local resources local, so they don't have to be transporting so far out of their local service areas to keep care here where we need it, because they know that our resources as smaller, more rural counties are limited.
So, and then I take it their ambulance is ALS, obviously.
Yes, they are the next step above standard ALS care with the critical care side.
So typically, we assign either a basic or an advanced level of care, and I'm not really seeing that wording on here. So is there something different? How exactly are we licensing this ambulance?
They will be ALS.
It will be
because those
ALS,
are the
okay.
only two that we have provided. I thought it said that it was
Oh,
ALS.
okay,
on
it does say
ALS, okay.
ALS on the license number
Okay.
itself. So I read all of the narrative. I didn't read the little tiny line underneath, so.
It's
all right,
actually
thank
bigger
you.
print than the rest of it. Okay.
Do I need to make that a little bit bigger?
It's all right, I got it now.
Okay, so he has inspected the ambulance and I guess obviously recommends licensing for this ambulance for UC Health. Commissioners have any questions? Any other questions, follow-ups?
This
No
is,
other oh, sorry.
go ahead.
I was just going to say no other questions, but it sounds like this is just maybe one more tool in the bag to help those who desperately need medical help here in Fremont County at times.
Yeah, it's great to have because we have weather and they can't fly. So at least this way they can get the same ICU on wheels that they could in the air. Might take a little longer, but they're going to get that same critical care.
Okay. This is going to be a wonderful addition. For someone that's taken that trip 3 times, it's pretty time consuming, and it does take our resources out of the area. So this is a fantastic addition.
Okay, I would entertain a motion.
Sure, Mr. Chair, I move to approve an ALS license for a UC Health ambulance.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve an ALS ambulance license for UC Health. Any further discussion?
Is this a one-year licensing?
Yes.
So
They will
next
have to
year,
renew by 4/20.
okay, so they will renew with all of the others that we typically do all at one meeting next
Yes.
year, and then
Okay.
get them on the same cycle as
Yes.
everyone else. Okay,
And
perfect.
they are
Very
aware
good.
of that.
Okay, all right.
Very good. Any
Thank
further
you, Michael.
discussion?
Makes sense.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner Payne.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thanks, Michael.
Okay, number 6 is the 2020 holiday schedule for the,
Nope,
I missed number 5.
oh, I'm sorry, number 5. Change, oh,
That's how you move up an
that's
agenda.
because
Yeah.
Gary's been sitting here patiently and he's like, come on, I'm next. Okay, number 5, we have a change in corporate structure. We have a change in the manager. It's a liquor license renewal request, and he is asking for a waiver of the 45-day submittal requirement. Penrose Family Enterprise LLC, doing business as Broadway Bar and Grill, and we have Gary Briggs. And I know you filled out a deal, but I didn't call him because I knew you were on this thing, so
I figured that I made a mistake.
that's okay.
I've made lots of mistakes on these paperwork.
So, tell us about what you've got going on here, Mr. Briggs.
Well, I didn't realize which paper to fill out because I bought the LLC, which means I just had to do a change of manager or in a corporate structure. And I did the transfer paperwork like twice. And it was before the 45 days, but it was the wrong paperwork. And legally, nobody can give me any advice, so it took me a while to figure out which paperwork. I think I filled that transfer paperwork out 3 times. That's a lot of paperwork.
So the request is just to waive the 45-day submittable requirement, is that
Well,
correct?
no, and it's also a liquor license renewal because he just purchased the LLC, so it's a change.
That's not a renewal.
It's a change in the name
No, we don't approve.
No, I didn't change the name.
of the manager, though.
Yeah.
We don't
Okay.
approve that, he just has to
Okay.
report it.
Okay.
Okay.
So this
It's not a
really is,
renewal.
it's a liquor license renewal, and that he's requesting to waive the
right,
45-day
got it.
submittal
Okay.
requirement.
Okay. Any questions? Other questions yet? Can I get a staff report, please?
Yep, he did finally get us the paperwork, and everything is in order with our office, so I think we're good to go.
I think her office is my second home.
Yeah, we've gotten to know Gary quite well.
So I do see that there's a letter from the sheriff and from the health department recommending renewal of this.
So nothing is changing on the premises itself, correct? Could you address for me a little bit about how you train your servers?
Well, I went and I got with, what's her name? Jamie.
Jamie, okay.
Okay.
Yes.
And I got with her, and then we had everybody was together, and we did the health certification, and then we had a roll call roster. We could send to Jamie for the servers.
So what about the liquor side of it? Have they been trained in liquor laws?
Yeah, they've been there for a long time.
Okay, that's what I need to know.
Okay.
All right, thank you. We won't bite. You don't need to be nervous. You don't need to be afraid of us.
I'm just happy that I actually got the paperwork.
Got the right papers, right? Yeah. So you're ahead of the game on there.
Yes.
Okay, any further questions?
Not from me.
I'll entertain a motion.
Okay, Mr. Chair, make a motion that we approve the liquor license renewal and request for the waiver of the 45-day submittal requirement for the Penrose Family Enterprise LLC, doing business as Broadway's Bar and Grill.
Second.
So it has been moved and seconded to approve the liquor license renewal and waive the 45-day submittal requirement for Penrose Family Enterprise LLC, doing business as Broadway Bar and Grill. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Payne.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Good luck.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
You
sir.
bet.
Thanks. Good luck to you.
Okay, now we'll go to number 6. which is a 2020 holiday schedule. I have a 10-hour schedule and an 4-day 10-hour schedule and a 5-day 8-hour schedule. It was almost like a tongue twister.
Yeah, I've been there.
Do you want to have Sunny address it briefly?
Sure. Sonny, would you like to?
Sure. So in an effort to make sure employees have ample time to plan ahead for next year's vacations and time off, we like to get this approved at the end of August or early September. So this is the proposed 2020 schedule. So this one is for the 10-hour holiday schedule, which is the administration building, public health, Department of Transportation, and the Sheriff's Department. The airport also goes on this schedule. Next year, the 4th of July actually falls on a Saturday, and so to try not to confuse any citizens by either being closed the Thursday prior or the Monday after, we're actually proposing to give all of the staff an extra 10 hours of floating holiday. So if they choose to use it around that holiday, they can, but we didn't want to have the building closed for an extended period of time when it didn't really make sense for it being on the 4th. Other than that, the holidays are in observance on the days that they actually are. So the Thursday, the 24th, is Christmas Eve, but the building is closed on Friday, and so that's the day we are observing Christmas. These schedules will be posted on all of those buildings that it pertains to. And then the next one is for the Department of Human Services, which actually follows the 8-hour holiday schedule. And so they will receive 10 hours of floating holiday. Both groups receive a total of 90 hours of holiday pay, so it's equal amongst the two. They will be closed on Friday, July 3rd, because they are open on Fridays. And so once again, these holiday hours will be posted. So these are
DHS kind of follows the state schedule as well. Correct. So that makes it a little bit easier for us to determine when they will be open and when they can be closed.
Yes.
Okay. Any further discussion on that?
No other discussion other than thank you, Sunny. I think doing what we are doing with the 10-hour schedule for Independence Day next year is a really great idea. So thanks for thinking that through and coming up with this. So, Mr. Chair, with that, I move to approve both of our holiday schedules for 2020.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve both holiday schedules for 2020, the 10-hour 4-day week and the 5-day 8-hour. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner Payne.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Seeing no further business before us, we are adjourned.